Today I'm taking you on a tour of Gallagher Guitar's new facility here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So let's check it out.
Hey, David.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. About yourself?
I'm doing well.
So you're in the new spot?
We are. So you stepped into our foyer that we're putting together a timeline of the company back from 1965 through today. We've got more pieces to fill in there, but we got started. And then why don't you step into our quote Hall of Fame?
Tell us about it.
Well, it occurred to me it'd probably be interesting to people to know something about people who play our guitars. And of course, that means the man, Doc Watson himself, and Jim Hurst, Chris Jones, others. But after we started putting these up, like I've got Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and Peter Yarrow, others over there. But everyone else on here have started playing these guitars since we reopened in 2020, and that's pretty gratifying. This is not necessarily my international wall, but for example, Raffle, I just saw him recently from Poland. He came over to the Brian Sutton camp, and Ruben Minuto, he's in Italy. We're getting ready to take a trip to Italy to the acoustic guitar village over there in Cremona.
Recognize Lucas White up there.
Lucas White,
Great
yes.
picker.
Alicia has a wonderful video and record that's just come out. She's doing great. Zeb Snyder, just again, I'm just really pleased that artists are seeking us out, choosing to play these guitars.
Great instruments.
And of course, Kaiser George is tearing it up out there, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's taking things to a whole nother level.
I agree.
Very proud of him.
Leading the way in a lot of the younger generation.
Yes. Yeah.
Travis Tritt.
Travis Tritt, he wanted one for his birthday. You know, Ty Myers, he's doing great things out there, and he loves his little Gallagher Ragtime special.
Cody Norris.
Oh, the Cody Norris show, it doesn't get any better than that, does it?
It's rare to see a picture of him without his
nudie
outfit.
suit.
Yeah.
But this is our new place. We have an area so that people can visit and put their hands on guitars. We usually have a few out here.
This is kind of where we were at last time. People were testing out the guitars and
Right.
things like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of the public space when they come
Yeah,
through.
it's nice to be able to come in and try different ones because people may have ideas of what they want, but when they can sit with a guitar, different wood combinations, neck profiles, things like that, they can get a better idea.
Yeah.
We had a gentleman that came down. He's ordering something custom to a dealer, but when it came down to it, he was just nervous about it, and he wanted to come down, and that helped him tremendously to be able to do that.
Are these the two that you showed me last year?
Well, maybe the Shelbys.
Yeah.
A couple of examples of some Shelby guitars.
This is the folk over there.
Well, actually, both of these are Westerns.
Westerns, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't currently have a folk out here. We've got one in the setup area that should be finished by the end of the week. It's going up to Banjo Bend, by the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we know Banjo Ben.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. And do you have some new T-shirt designs as well while we're in here?
Well, that is.
I've seen that
I give
online.
my wife and Rachel credit for that. They wanted something. I think they call it a vintage tee.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, cool. Go through the shop there.
Well, yeah. Let me show you around. You were at the other shop, so you know a lot of the equipment is going to be familiar to you. But the layout that we have here is so much better for us. So we call this area to your left there our kind of historic corner because we have pieces of equipment from JW's days
Yep.
that he put together and we still use.
and you showed us this last time. Do you mind sharing what this does for everybody?
This carousel, it's just a functional piece of equipment. When you've prepared a back or a top to join together, You put it into place, and we do a dry fit first to make sure. So that holds it in place, and then you're able to tighten, put the pressure on the joint for it to dry, and then you can move to the next one. It's really that easy.
Like a conveyor belt sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we call it a carousel.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I mentioned it before, but I just enjoy it, so I'll tell you again.
Sure.
Like our side bender now, we can change out the form because we've got all these different shapes. But all the dreadnoughts come out of the form that JW and Don had in '65. And now we have a digitally controlled heating blanket. It bends or forms with the wood as it bends, keeps the heat even. But he took hot water heater elements and put underneath this, and you turn the switch on, give it about 20 minutes, and you're ready to start bending wood.
And do you still use that with the dreadnoughts, you said?
All the dreadnoughts.
That's
From the very first one to Doc Watson's to some of the pictures you saw out there, they come off of this form.
so cool.
Yeah. So there's some real serious mojo in this form.
Yeah. And as a,
Yeah.
people that collect these and want these guitars, I think that's probably a big part of why they would want to buy a Gallagher.
Well, the
Dreadnought, or just-
continuity of,
Mhm.
of that building method.
Right.
Some of the benches, things that you see, I think sometimes about all the guitars that have been braced off of that bench since '65, or that have been glued up on his press. A very rudimentary in some ways, but a very functional press for gluing the back and the top to the rim. So we value that. It's
Absolutely.
It's important to us.
Yeah.
The binding bench here. The first time Don came to visit, I asked him, "How's it feel to be in the shop?" And he talked about memories. He said, for example, the day we were working, and we thought, wouldn't it be great if we had a vise in the bench to hold the guitar body while we worked? And so they stopped what they were doing and modified 2 or 3 of the benches to put a vise in to hold the body.
Hey folks, real fast, if you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, man, I'd really like to learn to play the bluegrass style of guitar, but you don't know where to start, or maybe you think it's impossible to learn, check out my beginner-friendly program, Flatpick Foundations, at this address right here. It's helping hundreds of students around the world of all ages, but mostly older learners that want to play bluegrass. All my lessons are slow, step by step. I play slowly, that way you learn. Enough yapping, testimonials are right here, check it out, but let's get back to the video.
And you were speaking that the new building, the flow of how you got everything set up is a little bit easier. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
The flow, like if you think about body construction, really all of this side here. Now, the machine over there for radiusing the rim, both on the top and the bottom side. Again, all of this is part of body construction. And then we move into the parts and the neck area and the fitting to the body and the finish sanding. All that's done. The second half of the construction on that side over there.
In last video, you talked about the history of these machines. You mind going into detail about that for the folks that didn't see that
there's
one?
black and white photos of the one that's green there of JW at that buffing machine. And you want to go?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Go.
And that machine, we've put a different motor on it to update it, but that's what's been used since the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, this machine came out of the Wilson Sporting Goods factory where they used to buff golf clubs.
That's what it
And
was.
a friend procured it, and it sat around in a barn forever, it sounded like. And then we turned it on, and it sounded awful. So we had to replace bearings. We put a new motor on, put a new transducer, which allows us to modify the speed. It's heavy as a tank, but we love it.
That's just so cool.
Really solid.
Yeah.
So you can put your weight into it, and it's not going to move.
That's awesome. So much history. Like, that's what's fun about this.
And then I'll show you And I mentioned to you, we're still doing renovation, so you have to overlook some of that. But that's just the way it is. But this back area, Charlie's working in the setup area. It's all right if we take a few pictures. All right if we do some video.
Thank you.
But this is his prep area for his finish work, where he may do some sanding, some taping off, some scraping. And then the next area is mixing area, and also where the guitars are going to cure. So these guitars have been there about 2 weeks, I think now.
If you're in this room, it smells very much like paint.
It does. It does. Yeah, we love that lacquer smell.
Yeah.
You have to get used to it, maybe.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
a sweet smell. And then the spray booth is behind that door.
Yeah, that's where you.
Properly vented out the back and all those things.
Yeah.
But
There's some necks.
next, we spray a satin on the necks, and someone who has a guitar and they played it a long time, it will start shining up, but it still is not sticky like gloss.
Yeah.
So we like that satin finish.
Very cool. I'll get a close up on some of these.
Look at that little parlor.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
What's the model number, or what's the name of that parlor?
That one is a 70 model, so it's a Parlor 70.
Okay.
We actually have 3 Doc Watson models, one the natural finish, and then we've got 2. This one is more of a whiskey burst, and this is an Origins burst.
Those are the Doc Watsons, you said?
Yeah, yes, this is a Bluegrass Bell.
Yeah.
The rest are Doc Watson models.
That's a Doc and a Doc. All right.
And then the last area we're going to go into,
Thank you.
Doug is working with us on the electrics, and some of the things we have in mind that we're doing has to do with emphasizing wood, because we're wood people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, here's one, it's got a lot of prep still do, but a maple top. This is actually lace wood, and when you put finish on that, it's just fantastic.
Did you mention last summer that you were taking some of these to the Fretboard Summit in Chicago?
We
Was that-
did, and that's the plan again this year.
Okay.
Because we've been refining the process. We want to make sure everything's right
Yeah.
before we really push these out and
Now
get
is
them in the hands of people. But this is a walnut neck. Isn't that beautiful?
yeah.
That we did in house here, and
Now,
Yeah.
is that particular trade show up there, the Fretboard Summit that happens in Chicago, is that different from, say, the NAMM show or IBMA, or is it more
the
electric?
Fretboard Summit is a wonderful time as a luthier to go and be around all of these different builders, from individual builders who will do a few a year to Taylor, to Martin, different ones. But we all enjoy seeing each other and looking at each other's work. And
Yeah.
some people think it's kind of strange that we don't feel really competitive, but there's just a certain club, a fellowship.
Yeah.
And the competition has to do with, oh man, you did a nice job with that. Maybe I can do a little better.
Interesting.
We get ideas from each other. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So this final area is final assembly, because we finish our neck and the body separate. So that's got to come back together. Bridge has got to be glued on. Neck's got to be glued on. And then like the one on his bench over there, it's already glued up. So he's doing setup for it. Our cubby here of different bodies and parts that are going to be going through the same process.
So this is where you take them to like the kind of pre-final assembly.
Yeah, this is right. Here's a custom guitar we're building. I don't know if it can pick up all that bear claw, that top. And this is a lefty, by the way.
I've been getting a lot of requests for tabs and things from left-hand players
Oh.
recently. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I hadn't even considered that
Yeah. I hadn't either.
aspect. But yeah, specs that we use, and there's no such thing as a spec that's going to meet everyone's needs.
Right.
If we're building for someone in particular, they can give us ideas about what they're looking for. But if they're going out to Banjo Ben or Righteous Guitars, different ones, our guitars are probably going to be set in the realm of bluegrass, which for a lot of people will be a little high.
Mm.
But the nice thing about that is it's very easy to adjust.
Right. Right.
So
I know some of the
that's what we have leaned toward.
yeah, because some of the bluegrass students, when you say that your action needs to be a little bit higher, they're like, oh, it's gonna make it even harder on me. Can you tell about the completion record, or is that just
Well, we still keep a paper ledger of all the guitars, just like they did from the very beginning. But we also keep a paper record. Now we have an electronic record. We have a way, each guitar has a spec sheet that at each area, each bench, they can access and look at that because we have a record electronically of everything.
oh
But we still want to keep a paper trail too.
yeah
So whenever one's completed, he logs it there. And then actually my wife, Raina, is the one that keeps up with the paper ledger for when a guitar is completed and sent out.
yeah, and I think speaking out loud, like having that and the ledger, like it just seems like the continuation of the whole process,
Yes.
just on paper, pen,
Yeah,
and keep a
I
hard
know.
copy of it.
I know. That
Yeah.
may seem silly to some, but there's just something more tangible about it. Ink and paper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And these are the cases that go out with them.
Yes, from TKL to Golden Gate and Superior are our main cases that we use.
Awesome. And then that completes the round, and we come out where
And we come back over
Excellent.
in this
Do
area.
you have anything that's going on exciting in the company in the next year or so you want to chat to anybody
Can't-
about?
Well, I'll just mention something without giving all the details to it. I'm not trying to be evasive about it, but just respecting the process. We're working with Eddie's Guitars, where we're launching actually a new line of guitars. We're going to launch that at Fretboard Summit, actually. So we've been working in conjunction with them over specs, and we're really excited about this, and we'll be eager to tell you all about it when I get a chance to disclose everything. But
Yeah.
what it's really doing is it's allowing us to really showcase our ability as craftsmen, and we're creating documentation that will accompany the guitar so that you know what went into the guitar at each stage, and the builders are going to be part of that process.
That's awesome. That sounds fun. That's something we'll maybe get next year when we come back.
Okay,
to the show.
we'd love
Yeah.
to have you back. Yeah.
Cool, yeah. And let's look at the ledger over here for the folks that maybe hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Tell us about
This is the copy. Don Gallagher kept the original, but I've got to go back to the turning point, which was 1968,
right
when
there.
Doc Watson got his guitar.
There it is.
And, JW didn't want to sell it because there was a crack that had been repaired. And I've seen that guitar, and you really can't see the crack.
Yeah.
But he couldn't sell it to him.
Right.
And so that's the guitar that Doc had as a loan.
Yeah.
And,
and just so-
eventually came back to Gallagher.
And just can you explain who JW is for those that might not know?
Yeah, JW was already a fourth generation Gallagher in Bedford County, and had a furniture building shop where he did Queen Anne style furniture. And Slingerland Drum out of Chicago had a factory in nearby Shelbyville. And they wanted to start building retail guitars like Sears and Roebuck and Harmony and different ones. So they needed a woodworker to help them design a guitar, and they recruited him. And he did that a couple of years, but those were not Queen Anne level guitars.
Right.
And so he left there and started Gallagher Guitar. And
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Alrighty.
But there are some sweeties in here for sure. Like here's Peter Yarrow with Peter Paul Mary.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that
Yeah,
last time we did.
and in fact, his guitar, he had a couple from Gallagher. I've got a picture of him up there. But his guitar is now in the Museum of is it Musical Instruments? What is the name of that museum? There's a branch of it in Arizona. Norman Blake.
Wow. Hank Williams Jr. there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right beside Norman Blake.
Yeah. And then this is in '74 is when the first Doc Watson model came out.
Right. So that would be. These are the models that are going out. And
Well,
are-
those were two Doc.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So the first two went to Doc Watson.
Oh. Okay. I see. That makes sense.
And then Merle, he got the first cutaway Doc Watson. Later on, another Doc Watson was built for Doc that had a cutaway. It kind of became the famous one. He nicknamed it the Donald.
The what?
The Donald, because Don Gallagher.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, we value that history for sure.
Awesome. Well, any final words, David?
Well, I appreciate you visiting because it's part of letting people know that we're still here after all these years and putting out guitars, and
Yep.
we welcome the opportunity for anyone to check us out. And
Yep.
we have a number of dealers. Dealers are very important to us because they've built trust with a community,
Mm-hmm.
and so they may not be too sure about Gallagher, but they can call and talk to Jake or whoever
Yep.
and get the lowdown, and they know they can get follow-up service too.
Yeah.
So dealers are very important to us.
Spent a lot of time down at Papa Odell's.
Papa Odell's, and I tell you, I love those guys.
Yeah.
Wonderful shop.
Yeah.
And they will definitely take care of you in terms of anything that you need and the
Absolutely.
setup work that he does.
I think I've gotten 2 from there the past year and a half. So
Okay.
yeah. Not Gallagher's, but
Yeah.
But yeah, great shop. All right. Appreciate it, David. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time.
Okay.